Brazil's decision to center its modern air power around the Saab Gripen E represents a deliberate strategic choice shaped by long-term national interests, industrial development, and the imperative to exercise sovereignty over its own defense capability. Rather than simply purchasing an aircraft from abroad, Brazil is investing in an ecosystem of technology that elevates both its operational capabilities and its domestic defense industry. The inclusion of the Meteor Beyond Visual Range missile, integrated fully with the Gripen platform, changes not only the performance envelope of the Brazilian Air Force, but also the geopolitical balance of air power across South America. The key to understanding this transformation lies in how Brazil approached its fighter procurement. Many nations in the region rely on legacy platforms or upgraded older aircraft. Some operate F-16s, many of which are upgraded but still rely on conventional missile technology and restrictive export licensing. Brazil instead sought a fighter built for the 21st century, with modular avionics, open architecture, and the potential for local participation in production and maintenance. Gripen E offered that. It is modern in its radar, efficient in operating cost, and flexible in terms of weapons integration. What mattered most was not just the airplane's performance, but access to the underlying knowledge of how to build, maintain, and evolve such an aircraft. This is why the technology transfer component of the Gripen partnership is as important as the aircraft themselves. Brazilian engineers work directly with Saab. Manufacturing processes, component production, testing, and systems integration are increasingly localized. This approach signals a future where Brazil can not only sustain its own Gripen fleet, but potentially export variants or components through its own industrial base. The Gripen program strengthens Embraer, already a respected aerospace leader, and aligns with the broader Brazilian strategic ambition to be not only a consumer of aerospace technology, but a producer and developer of it. Beyond the industrial dimension, Gripen E's operational strengths are substantial. Equipped with the Raven ES-05 AESA radar, it can detect targets at long ranges while remaining electronically agile. Its electronic warfare suite is among the most advanced in its class, capable of suppressing enemy radar and protecting the aircraft from missile threats. Its cockpit and data link architecture allows seamless information fusion across aircraft formations, enabling real-time coordinated engagements. Gripen E was designed as a smart, connected combat node rather than a single isolated plane. The incorporation of the Meteor missile amplifies these advantages into something qualitatively different. Traditional air-to-air missiles lose significant energy as they approach their targets at long distances. The Meteor, built with ramjet propulsion, maintains high energy through the terminal phase, giving it markedly superior engagement characteristics. In an air-to-air scenario, the aircraft that can fire first with the highest probability of kill controls the aerial battle space. With Gripen and Meteor, Brazil now possesses that advantage. In South America, no regional air force currently fields an equivalent combination. Nations with F-16s are restricted in missile selection due to export constraints. Those with older aircraft lack the sensors or data integration to approach beyond visual range parity. Others simply lack modern fighter capability altogether. The result is that Brazil now holds the uncontested upper tier of air superiority potential in the region. In the event of any aerial confrontation, Brazilian pilots would fight from a position of standoff advantage, with the ability to disable or deter threats before they approach visual range. The empowerment of pilots is another dimension often overlooked. Brazilian aviators transitioning to the Gripen platform do not merely operate new equipment. They enter a new operational paradigm in which network-centric warfare, sensor fusion, and advanced missile dynamics are central to tactics. Their training increasingly reflects modern air combat doctrine, involving simulation environments and operational integration with next-generation command and control systems. Over time, this experience accumulates into institutional knowledge that strengthens the Brazilian Air Force as an intellectual and tactical entity. The broader strategic implication is that Brazil now possesses a deterrent that reshapes regional calculus. Sovereignty over the Amazonian airspace, protection of critical national assets, anti-smuggling and counter-infiltration missions, and territorial defense all shift in Brazil's favor. Gripen E, operating from shorter airfields and with lower operating costs, provides a flexible and sustainable defense posture across Brazil's vast geographic expanse. The country can project aerial surveillance and deterrence over both land and maritime territories with unprecedented responsiveness. In the long view, the Gripen E and Meteor combination is not an endpoint, it is a foundation. Brazil is positioned to integrate future indigenous munitions, possibly derived from its existing missile programs, and use Gripen as a platform to support domestic air-to-surface and standoff weapon development. The possibility of deploying Brazil-developed munitions from Brazilian-assembled aircraft constitutes a milestone in strategic autonomy. It opens doors to cooperation beyond Europe, particularly with South Korea, Israel, and India, where defense industrial collaborations are expanding. By 2030, Brazil is likely to field a mature Gripen fleet, supported by locally trained engineers, integrated logistics, upgraded weapons, and a more advanced domestic design capacity. The knowledge transfer embedded in the Gripen program may ultimately prove more valuable than the aircraft themselves, as it helps catalyze a new generation of aerospace engineers, designers, and technologists within Brazil. The shift from technology consumer to technology partner to technology owner is a strategic evolution with lasting implications. The story of Brazil's Gripen program is therefore not merely about acquiring an aircraft. It is about shaping capability, shaping industry, shaping doctrine, and shaping perception. It is the story of a nation that is asserting its right to defend its skies with systems it understands, controls, and increasingly contributes to. Gripen E, armed with Meteor, is not only a weapon of defense, but an expression of national ambition and technological confidence. It stands as both a practical military asset and a symbol of Brazil's emerging role as a serious aerospace and defense actor in the Southern Hemisphere.